How do you think microbiome affects longevity of a person?
I think that microbiome is important in the field of longevity, and there's a strong connection between microbiome and brain and other organs.
Do you think generic probiotics work for everyone?
I think that I love the idea of personalization of probiotics. Typically, that can be done with a microbiome test, yeah.
A separate microbiome test and then making customized formula.
Yes.
If a woman is exposing her skin to morning and evening sun, what will happen?
When you look at the sun in the morning, so we have some sensors behind the eyes, and you can activate those, including one that is protecting against sunburn. It looks like a kind of natural way to protect your skin, yes.
Welcome guys, welcome to Miduty Talks. Today we have Dr. Pierre Introduction from Switzerland. He is founder and CEO of XLongevity. You know, a doctor from Switzerland is now trying to expand everything he's trained, he's learned now in India. So he will be collaborating with a lot of centers in India and going to bring all this cutting edge technology to stop your aging. So one of the key achievement of Dr. Introduction is he's developed something called biological passport. It means advanced testing, which will help people understand their biology. So there will be a customized solution. Guys, this is the future, and I'm very excited to interview today Dr. Introduction. Welcome, Dr. Introduction. Welcome to Miduty Talks. So Dr. Introduction, how old are you and what is your biological age?
I'm going to be 52 and my biological age is 42 right now. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you measure your biological age?
Yeah, there are two tests that I'm doing. One is an epigenetic test.
Okay.
Based on DNA methylation. Another one is called PhenoAge, is more based on phenotypic biomarkers. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think these tests will be available in India soon?
Yes, that's the last one. PhenoAge is now available to anyone in India. Yes.
It's available?
Yes, available. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, we'll write in the description what are the tests. So these are the kits somebody can buy.
Yes. Online.
And
yes.
they are at-home tests?
At-home tests, yes. A phlebotomist will come at home, yes, to collect blood, yeah.
Okay. And what are the biomarkers they are looking at?
There are 9 biomarkers. It's a combination of, as I said, phenotypic biomarkers. We have CRP, a biomarker of inflammation. We do have protein and others, pretty basic ones, but all are correlated to aging. And there is a formula, an algorithm to compute at the end PhenoAge. Yeah.
Okay, but when we do our normal tests, blood tests, we do CRP.
Yes.
So these, like the one you are recommending, it has to be different. One cannot do that generic blood test and see the 9 biomarkers you said. If you can tell us these, let's say this, do you know how expensive is this test?
Yes. Yes. In India, it is available for 4,900 rupees. Yeah.
4,900 rupees.
Yes.
That's pretty okay. Okay.
It's much cheaper than a epigenetic test, which is about 1 order of magnitude larger. Yeah.
And how accurate it is?
The accuracy is excellent, really excellent. And if you typically take 2 tests in separated by 1 week, the deviation are really low. So it's a really accurate test. Yeah.
Next question goes to microbiome. How do you think microbiome affects longevity of a person?
I think that microbiome is pretty important in the field of longevity. We all know that actually what we eat have a big impact, and there's a strong connection between microbiome and brain and other organs. Yeah.
Okay. And do you think generic probiotics work for everyone?
I think that I love the idea of personalization of probiotics. And typically that can be done with a microbiome test, yeah.
A separate microbiome test and then making customized formula.
Yes.
What will happen to the people who are just buying normal probiotics from the market? What will happen to them?
Yeah, that's sometimes it works really well, sometimes it has no effect. That's why I'm a big fan actually to promote really testing here.
Okay. So let's say if somebody is taking wrong kind of probiotic, what changes they can see in the body?
I'm not sure that there's a wrong type, hopefully, but there may be, I don't think there will be very strong adverse effects, not something that I think, and I don't know a single case on that subject. It's just that if you take, I would say, what you call wrong probiotics, it would just have no effect on the person, yes, or limited effect on the person, yes.
Okay, so you think there will be not a drastic negative effect, but there will be no effect if somebody is taking wrong kind of probiotics.
Yeah.
So we have a big community of women who are in the age group of 45 to 55 who are watching the show, and they all are concerned about aging of the skin, and I don't see any aging of the skin on you. It's not even skin. I can understand you are from Switzerland and you have this clean environment, but I don't even see on your face that the fat, it's drooping down. So what do you do to make your skin, intact the way it is?
Yeah, personally, I don't have I would say a great program for skin. I don't focus on skin at all. Here is more, I would say, I'm a kind of biohacker, and yes, I do apply all the techniques that my company Longevity is promoting and selling.
Can you please tell us 3-4 techniques which are kind of easy to do?
Yes, that's I will start with, I would say, supplements. And for supplements, collagen is a big one. Collagen, yes. I personally take methylene blue. Also a supplement.
I take that too.
Yes, methylene blue. And I think the evidence is growing now that methylene blue does also have an effect on the skin.
Which one?
Methylene blue.
Blue.
Yeah, methylene blue. That you can either take orally, or now there are also creams that they contain methylene blue on skin. Here, and for sure hyaluronic acid.
Hyaluronic acid, do you take tablets or you apply?
No, I only take, it's not tablets. It's even in the product that we do sell, like Longevity, it's a combination of collagen and
hyaluronic acid.
Yes.
Okay, so methylene blue, guys who do not know, it's that blue thing you put into the fish tank. And the biohackers are absorbing, like eating it, and we all have this blue tongue in the morning. It's very, very bitter. So, but there are studies behind it. There is a clinical data that it works.
Clinical data.
How does it work, methylene blue? What is the benefit? Can you tell a little bit about the
you
people?
mentioned that, yes, you can give the blue tongue if it is in liquid form, but now you have capsules that exist.
Okay.
You can take capsules, and even I do remember a study where the bioavailability of capsule may be a bit less, but in any case, methylene blue is a pretty inexpensive substance, so you can take a large dose. What I do recommend is the way to take it is not to take it regularly, but to cycle methylene blue, because it can have also some pro-oxidative effects, and we're really to limit these kind of effects. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And guys, be very careful while choosing your supplier of methylene blue.
Yes.
What should people look at, because it's so easily available?
Yes.
And what should people look at when buying
Yes, pharma grade. Really pharma grade.
Pharma grade.
Really pharma grade. Yes. And because that's it is inexpensive, but there's a lot of methylene that not used actually for consumption, and this one should really not be consumed. Yes, only pharma grade methylene blue. Yeah.
Okay, so for your skin, you do methylene blue. What else? Supplements, you said.
Collagen, yes.
Collagen. What else?
Yeah, I'm personally try to expose in the morning to the sun when the sun is below 15-25 degrees, where we're more actually red light. And it's something that I do, and maybe to limit a bit to UVs during the day. That's mean not to expose the skin strong in the day, and again in the evening to expose again. And I think that's good reason why animals actually do live mostly close to the sunrise, close to the sunset, is really to be exposed to this infrared light, red light, and near infrared that do penetrate pretty strongly into the skin and even more. Here, and I think that's
what will happen if I expose my skin to the red light.
Yeah.
First of all, below 20 degree, I'm never gonna get in Dubai.
Yeah.
Or in India, I think. Now winters are coming. So if a woman is exposing her skin to morning and evening sun, what will happen?
There are two things. If talking to the skin itself, when you look at the sun in the morning, so when it is too high, because it may hurt the eyes without any sunglasses, but we have some sensors behind the eyes and you can activate those. And you do that when it is, I would say, not cloudy. You can watch the sun just 5 minutes. It's enough to activate these sensors. And these sensors trigger a whole chain of I would say pathways in our body, including one that is protecting against sunburn with the production of melanin. And this is a bit interesting. It's look like a kind of natural way to protect your skin. Yes.
Okay, it's a natural sunscreen. If you look at this in the morning, if you expose your skin or look at the sun, it means it is just a natural sunscreen. Do you wear sunscreen?
I never wear any sunscreen. No sunscreen, no sunglasses. No, never.
Also no sunglasses.
No, yes, yeah. It's not something that I do promote, by the way, because we really have to be careful with that. But as a biohacker, yes, I have my routine on that regard. And yes, no.
Yeah,
no
it's bio-individuality because some people, most of the people in the community now with age, they have lost collagen and the skin has become thin. And if the sun rays are coming, they are getting pigmented. So we say put sunscreen 3 times. But for me also, I don't wear sunscreen all the time. But again, that's me, I know. And then I have high antioxidants in the diet. And what do you think about resveratrol, the role of resveratrol in anti-aging?
Yeah, resveratrol is really one that is, I would say, controversial, mainly because of a study that was shown actually at least to be or to exaggerate the results. But I'm still someone that actually believe that resveratrol has some good things, has many polyphenols. The main challenge with resveratrol is that the bioavailability is extremely low. When I say low, it's very low. It's only a very, very few percent. So for example, if you take a capsule of, let's say, 500 milligrams of resveratrol, you only have a very few milligrams that enter your body. That's why I do promote a liposomal form of resveratrol.
Miduty do 98% liposomal trans resveratrol.
98%. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you think? Is it a good compound?
Yes, I think that's I think 98, it's the purity of the resveratrol. Usually encapsulation is a bit lower, which is not a problem here. But yes, I think that's a good compound. Yeah.
Yeah, because when we give this supplement, it's called Stop Aging, and we put resveratrol, green tea, EGCG. Fistin. We put all this and give it to people. So the whole idea was anti-aging, and people said, I'm feeling energetic. I have more brain clarity. So for our community, it worked wonderfully. This product was not really like I wanted to push a lot. It is like good to have. But then, you give one compound and it affects different. Okay. So yeah, we learned about your biohacking things for your skin. What else?
You mean for skin?
No, for your anti-aging.
Yeah, for my anti-aging, yes. I always say that we should get the basics right before taking any supplements. Before taking any, I would say, talking about exosomes or I would say complex and expensive treatments. So for me, the basics is about the 5 pillars of longevity: the diet for sure, exercise, sleep, community, and mindfulness. And you often the last two people, I would say, are more actually trying to optimize the first 3 and not the last 2. Personally, I try to have a quite nice balance between the 5. Yeah.
Yes, because one of the question was how social connections play a role in longevity.
Yeah.
So you think it's a big part?
It's a big one. Yes, clearly. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
As about community, yes. It's well known that if it's loneliness or I would say more like the protective effects of community, yes, to be with people, yes, because also it triggers more activity, it triggers the brain, it triggers so many things that community is a big thing. Yeah.
Okay, and my question is, I'm not able to find that right point of social connection. Like, what is good, what is too much? For example, sleep is very important. But if we are socially connecting in the evening, like last evening we guys did, so that time, you get the stimulations and 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you're awake. So then your sleep is compromised.
Yes.
So then you have to really you choose between sleep and social connection, and evenings are the best time. So what do you think? Let's say I plan myself, I have to go out more, and how many times do you think is okay in terms of once a week is okay, or it's isolated?
Yeah, I'm not sure there is really a real rule of thumb here that exists. In general, always it's a question of balance. Yes, just typically for sleep, yes. I always say that personally, I don't have any alarm clock in the morning, but I do have an alarm clock in the evening, actually, to go to bed. And here, I do the other way around. And but yes, for example, yesterday, I came really late, only a few hours of sleep, which actually forced me myself to wake up in the morning, watch the sun. And I know that it will have no impact on my circadian rhythm. And over the long term, I think that's the right approach. So, and yes, every kind of social connection we may have outside, I would say during the night, it's good, yeah.
It's good. Okay. So you said 5 pillars of longevity.
Yep.
Number 1, top 3 food items for longevity.
Type 3 food items. I'm a big fan of proteins. Yes. And animal proteins. Yes. I know it's also a controversial subject here, but I do take a lot of animal proteins. And otherwise vegetables, yes, broccoli for me is a kind of superfood here. And what's my top 3? I would say salmon. Salmon for me is really fatty fish. Salmon,
okay.
Yeah.
Salmon. Yeah, for me the problem is I turn into 90% or 100% vegetarian when I come to India, because the chicken that's available, that's fed with hormones. Yeah. So in this case, I think it's better to go vegetarian than to have wrong kind of animal meat, right?
Yeah, it's always said that, yes, I saw my first time, by the way, here in India was more than 30 years ago now. And I saw all the evolution of food. And I think that unfortunately the quality of food has decreased really much in India, yes, because of now much more processed food, much more based on carbohydrates. I would say more fast food, snacks are everywhere now. It becomes way more difficult now to find, I would say, balanced food, vegetarian or not, because also source of proteins as part vegetarian is pretty much a challenge here. I'm a big fan of having more than 1.5 gram per kilo of proteins. And in India, it's pretty challenging to do that.
Yeah, so when you come to India, what do you eat?
What do I eat?
Or you carry your food?
I do carry food.
I also carry my food because it's just challenging.
Yes, I have a protein powder with me here. Otherwise, I would say the taste of the food here in India is wonderful. All the spices and that, and for sure I cannot resist to that. And yes, everything that I would say try to include proteins, I do. So paneer. Dal, and yes, chicken. I know it's maybe not only about, I would say, what's the impact of hormones on chicken, but also the way they are fed here and produce a lot of linoleic acid and omega-6. It's pro-inflammatory, so I try also to limit chicken. Here in India.
Which is the best longevity exercise?
The best longevity exercise, just to lift weights.
Lift weight.
Yes. I think that's the best one. Yes, because behind there's this idea of to deplete glucose or sugar in the form of glycogen into our muscles, and also it triggers muscle synthesis, give a lot of stress, which is a good thing to stress your body. And I think yes, that's the best biohack we may have. Yeah.
Okay, and how many times per week is okay to lift?
To lift, that's then it depends actually on your recovery capacity. I would say for someone that have a diet. Here I'm talking about diet because recovery here is strongly associated to diet and sleep, but mostly to diet. 2 times a week, not long, 25, 30 minutes, one series until muscle failure. This concept muscle failure, I think it's critical. Here is the one that would recommend. On top of that, sure, somewhat called zone 2 training, which is actually to activate fat metabolism. And yes, I do also once a week a kind of more intense training. I do run.
HIIT.
And HIIT, yes, exactly it. I do the 4x4 here just to maintain my VO2 max.
Just once a week is enough to
yes,
do HIIT?
once a week. I don't even do more because when I do that, I feel the stress in my body.
Same here. Same here.
Yes. This means my recovery is affected, and here I need at least 2-3 days to recover before I can do another session or even lifting weights. So it's the regimen. I have these 3 pillars, yes, of exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same, that I take not good decisions the morning I do HIIT, and then in the meeting I asked my team, did I give that decision? And it was directly related to my HIIT intensity.
Yeah.
And mine was like really long, 20 minutes on, off. And then I said, I have to limit it because HIIT is very stressing to the body.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And are you like a guy, I'm just curious about it, a guy of 8 to 10 reps or 15 to 20 reps?
I don't count my reps. For me, I feel it. It's really
failure.
It's about the feeling until muscle failure. Yes.
Okay.
Is that usually I try to have, let's say, 70% of the weight of the max weight I can lift, and but I don't count. It's just about I try to feel my body. Sometimes I can do more, sometimes less. Depends also at the time of the day, depends on my stress levels. It's just about to feel it until this concept of muscle failure. That is really key. There's some studies, very nice studies, that is shown that muscle failure is extremely efficient to burn glycogen, to burn glucose. And here I'd really try to achieve that, to deplete my muscles of glycogen. And this helps then for the storage of additional carbohydrates here. So that's, I really try to reach this muscle failure. And when I reach this point, I still need to do 1 or 2 more reps. I know these are really tough, but that's the most beneficial ones, yeah.
The same theory was from this guy, The Rock. And he was saying, this is that once my muscle failure happened, I do 2 more always, It's really like, if you're doing the row, it's really like shaky, but this is what counts. So you said then you replenish your glycogen stores after the workout with some carbs?
No, personally, I don't take any carbs after. I know that's the famous window that most people do, but personally, I still do not. Yes.
You don't take carbs at all?
I do take carbs. I do limit my carbs. I'm not a carbohydrate person. Something I really evolved over time because when I was doing more endurance training back in the 90s, I was eating a lot of carbs, because I was told do eat a lot of carbs. And I was even doing this kind of hyper glycogen things. This means that the day before, during 3 days, taking a lot of carbs before race or something like this. But I think now the evidence on that is extremely low, yes. So
are you low carb? Or you are in ketosis?
Yeah, I know I'm in ketosis here. My metabolic flexibility is pretty good. Despite that, I do eat carbs actually during the day. I do eat some fruits, but now I have a few tricks actually to limit the impact of carbohydrates here, to limit glycation of high sugar here. So there are some natural substances that we can take. I love to start my meal with some vinegar, a salad with olive oil, try to include some proteins with the salad. The effect of vinegar at the beginning of a meal has helped a lot. I also try to have more, I would say, proteins and fat. And I may finish with desserts, usually fruits. So I have some cinnamon. The cinnamon also is great actually to help, yes, in that field. So, yeah.
Amazing. One was food, other was exercise for your 5 pillars. The third, we discussed social connection.
Yes.
And then you said mindfulness. We know it's about meditation, living in the moment, affirmations, gratitude. What was the last one?
Sleep.
Oh yeah, sleep.
Sleep, yeah.
What are your biohacking things you do other than, so our audience knows, lowering the temperature.
Yeah.
And then dark rooms.
Limit blue lights, yes, that's a basic. That's one I think maybe people don't know much, but I think the one that is more impact than anything else is something you do in the morning. It's not something you do in the evening. It's to expose to the sun in the morning.
That resets your rhythm, circadian rhythm. Yes.
This one. And
so it shut down the night hormones and wakens the. Okay, guys. So exposing yourself in the morning is not only for the skin, for the eyes, but also for your sleep.
Yes. Actually, mostly for the sleep, yeah. But there's so many benefits. I think it was a really wonderful biohacks, and I'm still amazed that there's lot of really good science. For example, on the near-infrared light that can penetrate our body several centimeters, and that's been really deep penetration into the body. It can activate the mitochondria. And they are switching just about 2 minutes of exposure to near-infrared. That's actually a switch to the mitochondria, and that activates your metabolism.
Are you telling us this kind of light from sun, or should we go inside the sauna?
Yeah, and that's a good question. First, sure, the sun is great. The sunness is great because it does include this near-infrared light, which is a wavelength, I would say, around 800 nanometers. It can go up to 1 micrometer, not more. I say this because there are a lot of saunas, infrared sauna, that don't have this wavelength.
800?
800, yes.
Most don't have. In India, we have between 600 to 800.
Yeah.
And we've biohacked it. A friend of mine is doing it. So we put red lights all over.
Yeah.
So we don't have to do this, because earlier I would go inside the sauna, then I do my cryo. And before that, I would stand in front of Juve, that red light panel. So it was really big thing, so we put red light inside the saunas.
Yes.
And what is the right time for that? Also the morning.
And may I would just say a few things about this, because when you combine infrared sauna and actually the two things, infrared plus sauna, the high temperature has, I would say, try to neutralize the good effect of infrared light. So yes. So I do more probably, especially for the near infrared, to not expose the body to high temperature, and just to do a near infrared or red light therapy. It's called photobiomodulation. And as part, by the way, of what we do for Probiotics Longevity, we do promote a lot what's called the relaxation and recovery session. You combine a PMF mat, you line a PMF on top, you have the red light panel. And personally, I'm someone who reacts really well to that session. It's only 24 minutes. And I have my HRV, my heart rate variability, that is increasing very nicely here. And I know I have this effect of near-infrared light that's limited when you are exposed to high temperature in sauna.
Good to know. So the right sequence would be, I take red light one day and infrared sauna the other day.
Yeah, sure. It looks, yeah. Oh yeah, if you do that, it was really great. Yeah.
Okay. I the first biohacking tool I bought when I landed in Dubai was a PMF mat.
Yes.
Because every afternoon when I take my nap for half an hour, I would be always on the mat. Works wonderfully for my dog, for my baby, for myself. I'm totally good with it. I have the Sedona.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's from Switzerland.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Any other biohacking thing which has worked wonderfully with you? You would say, I can't live without these 3 things. These are my core fundamentals.
Yeah, I would say a supplement. A supplement, which is...
How many supplements you take?
Quite a lot. Yeah, quite a lot. I don't count, but can be sometimes up to 20 a day. Yeah.
20 a day?
Yes, a lot.
Okay.
Yes. But I wouldn't mention one because I'm a big fan of having high NAD plus levels. Yes, because NAD is for me, it's a crazy molecule because this molecule is involved in so many things, so many good things in our body. It's not by chance that we look at the 12 hallmarks of aging that's been defined. I think that's the only molecule that's a direct impact on 7 hallmarks of aging. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. I first took my NAD IV and it was expensive and I feel really pukish and I just couldn't take it. So just after 10 minutes, I tell them to stop it. And then I was like, what do I do? And then in India, we are developing now Liposomal NMN and it will be launched in a month. But you think taking NAD molecule directly or liposomal?
No. Here, I start to have a strong opinion. Actually, I don't use NAD infusions. I don't take NAD because again, that's the NAD is a molecule that is relatively large. It's not as large, let's say, as big proteins, but it's not a small molecule. And I always say that we should not go against the biology here with regard to NAD because the way that's with natural selection, we have developed these tools to have good NAD levels is that we eat food.
Which food?
Okay, everything that's tryptophan is great. Tryptophan, this means tryptophan.
Chicken, turkey.
Chicken, turkey, exactly. Tryptophan is a precursor of, or at least one of the building blocks, let's say, of one of the pathway involved in I would say the manufacturing of the production of NAD into our cells, and vitamin B3 for sure. It's considered as a coenzyme, but really a diet rich in those is great, and but still NAD plus, the levels of NAD plus with my previous company, we developed a test, one of the very first tests, and the test that truly measure NAD plus naturally into the cells. There's no NAD plus into our blood. Our serum liquids.
Okay, it's only inside the cell.
It's only inside the cells, yes. This means that natural selection has made a way that, okay, we eat these components, these micronutrients. These micronutrients can enter to the cell. They can cross the membrane from the blood into the cell. They come into the cytosol within the cells. And here there's a really wonderful machinery that takes all these building blocks and build NAD+. That finally ends in the mitochondria where there's most of this function. And NAD+, there's close to zero, when I mean very low levels in serum and plasma, the liquid component of blood. And when you do take an infusion, that's NAD+, by default, I would say, cannot cross the membrane.
Okay.
It's too large. It's too large for that. But there are some transporters that I believe are non-specific to NAD+, because again, for biology, there's no reason to develop such a transporters, but some have been identified here. And one of those is called connexin 43. And this one is mostly expressed in inflamed cell and cancer cells. And this means when you take NAD+, there's a kind of preference for these cells to get NAD+. It does not go into all your cells. That means also that a lot of people that don't like or react pretty badly to NAD+, here, not only because at the time of injections, maybe happened to you, but also after 1 or 2 days, they feel actually not good. And here, this means that my assumption, it's really a personal opinion here based on the evidence that I believe is growing. These persons may not express this protein called, this transporter called connexin 43. And by that, it cannot enter the cells and it should be actually metabolized just from blood. Yes.
Okay, so the solution would be to take NMN.
Exactly, and liposomal NMN is a great option because again, NMN when taken orally, the bioavailability, something we showed through NAD+ tests, is pretty low. It's changed between people. A person, I believe, according to the microbiome. But if you take the best 2 ways, I think, to take a precursor like NMN is either sublingually. This one, the biology is really great. Or yes, through encapsulations like in liposomal encapsulation.
Liposomal. Okay, what is the right age to start NMN powder?
That's a good question, because the level of NMN do already decrease during our 20s.
During our 20s?
It's already, I'm not saying promoting that we should take NMN during these 20s, but we know that maybe the peak of NMN is around when you are 20 years old. It already decreased by close to 30% between 20 and 30 in average. But we understand this is an average based on a lot of people. But now we see that there are a lot of people who are in their 20s already have a very low level of NAD.
How do they get to know they have, if let's say we don't have tests in India, how do I know I have low level of NAD or NM?
Yes, we are coming with an NAD plus test in India.
India?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, this test is from Biohacker. That was a company I founded a few years ago with the laboratory in Geneva in Switzerland. And this test, we are coming with this test here for the Indian population, yes.
Okay, it's not yet launched?
Not yet launched, yes.
Okay, and please make it affordable.
Yeah, that's the challenge here. That's why it's been delayed, because these tests require, I would say, it's a lot of technology. First, you have to stabilize NAD+. And there are some tests that are available that actually don't stabilize, I would say, enough, or are looking for more of a product of degradation. And these tests are much less accurate and precise. That's when you first have to stabilize NAD+, and then you have to extract NAD+, which is also something that is resource demanding. And the last part for the measurements, which may be easy, but still, I would say, costly, is that you need techniques like mass spectrometry to analyze. And this means overall it increases the cost of the test,
Okay. So yeah, because NAD, like you said, it is one of the most powerful anti-aging molecule. So if somebody has to spend, they will spend.
Yes, and I do not recommend to do a lot of NAD plus test. But again, coming back to the what's happening during, I would say, our 20s, I use this decade as an example, it can decrease by about 30% in average. But we have to understand that a lot of people actually, when they are already, let's say 20 years old, have already low levels. And this means that NAD is often seen as a kind of longevity molecule. I don't think so, personally. I think it's more associated to the metabolic function, or if you have any metabolic syndrome, your NAD levels will be pretty low. And that means there's more correlation to aging that exists, but it's not the root cause of aging.
Okay.
Yes.
You said longevity molecule.
Yeah.
Then tell me, if NAD is not longevity molecule, which one is?
Which one else? Yeah, that's, I say the molecule, the molecule that we try to improve or to take, a thing like this, because otherwise I will say something about the mTOR pathway. And the mTOR pathway, that's pretty critical, whether we are fasting, whether we limit caloric intake, or we take drugs like I do, rapamycin, all have an impact on mTOR, yes.
Okay, so we've spoken about a very important molecule, NAD+.
Yeah.
And you said longevity molecule, rapamycin. I was also reading in the book Outlive.
Yeah.
You read that book?
Yeah.
So rapamycin.
Yes.
Please tell us about that and how it helps. Who should start taking?
Yeah,
you take rapamycin.
I do take rapamycin. Yes,
awesome.
I do take rapamycin, and I was part of a clinical trial. I just had to fill a questionnaire about, because I started rapamycin quite, I would say, in the early days, more as a biohacker here. And I'm still a really big fan of, I would say, playing with mTOR. I don't only use rapamycin for that. I also try in my diet some pretty easy things like molecules that I know to activate AMPK.
Okay.
Here, which actually is a molecule that inhibits a pathway that inhibits mTOR. But talking about rapamycin, yes, it's a specific inhibitor of mTOR, and it's very important if you do that to cycle here. Personally, I use now the more I say traditional ways. So this means that I take 6 milligrams of rapamycin every 10 days, not every week, every 10 days.
Okay.
Because also did some test of rapamycin on myself, a test that is not available. But I saw that inhibition with 6 milligrams, my body typically can lead an inhibition about 3-4 days. Yes.
So, but it's different for everyone, right?
Yes, it's different for everyone.
So we don't recommend a generic population to
Yes.
take rapamycin.
Exactly.
It is a double-edged sword.
Yes, first, yes. It's a drug that need a prescription that's been followed by a medical doctor. And here, that's not something that should take easily, I would say.
So I'll walk into doctor clinic and I'll say, I want to live longer. Please prescribe me rapamycin.
Yeah, now there are really longevity clinics that do that. And we have partners, yes, we do that, yes. But at least as when it is, I think studies on safety of rapamycin is excellent. People always a bit afraid that, maybe if you can actually decrease my immune system and things like this. And I think the recent data, I mean, still limited in humans, yes, here, but are pretty convincing that the risk for immune function is pretty low. I have zero problem with my immune function. That's lucky me. I don't remember the last time I saw my GP here. I never get any fever.
Did you catch corona?
I did, yes, I did.
Did you vaccinate?
I had to. I had to because, yes, at that time I had some of my team was in the United States and I had to travel. And because of travel, I had it. Otherwise, I would have not. But because of this constraint, I did. I need to play a bit with my body to really limit the impact of the spike protein before vaccination.
Oh, you already took measures?
Yes, took measures right before vaccination.
Vaccination, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very less people were speaking that time because it was a critical topic. But yes, many people who vaccinated did take all the measures you're saying. So you said fasting and caloric restriction for longevity. Yeah. How much fasting is good fasting? Because for me, I fast till the time I start feeling shaky and cold.
Okay.
Is it too much?
Yes, it's too much. Yes, it's too much.
But I feel shaky and cold because I am in front of the camera using my brain, either I'm in front of the laptop doing research or I'm in the gym. Yeah. So my lifestyle is very stressful lifestyle. I'm never sitting and grabbing, a drink or just relaxing. That's my lifestyle. So do you think a person like me who has this high stress lifestyle should fast? You should actually at least limit your fast. Yes, limit your fast because it's fasting, it's great. That's create a lot of stress on your body as well. So it's I know it's not, I would say, as stressful as exercise, but give trigger some stress, and especially for in women, I think there's a higher risk actually that this stress may be a bit too much. Yes. This means that even if you do a famous 16/8 fasting, intermittent fasting, not to do that every day. Not to do that every day. Or to do with some fat. Yeah, but again, that's when you do fasting, it depends also the amount of calories that you have. Personally, I do try to do some intermittent fasting. I do measure my ketones. Okay. And even actually sometimes I do not fast, even I eat some carbs in the evening. Ketones in the morning is pretty elevated. So I'm still in ketosis. Yeah, because you've done for a longer time. Yeah, because... Metabolic flexibility is this key concept. Exactly. And I don't measure my ketones anymore. If suddenly during the day, I find everything very clear. You know that feeling? Yeah. Everything suddenly, the path I went in the morning and now it's looking very clear. I've kicked into my ketosis because I did very long time. In fact, I don't want women to follow me on this advice. I was amongst first women to have a keto baby. I was in ketosis, like metabolic flexibility, 7 years ago when I was pregnant, and everybody was telling me to take carbs. I would take, but I was still in, mild this nutritional ketosis. Okay, so amazing. I'm a woman. I have a high stress lifestyle. Can I do 1 day or 2 day fast? And overextend? Yes, 1 or 2 days, 16/8 is good. It's really good for it. Yeah, 16/8 is, yes, because after 16. But again, it's when you do fasting, you will have to ensure that you do some zone 2 training for fat metabolism. You really have to train your metabolic flexibility. That's why before I mentioned about exercise, sure, I would say the best biohack again is to lift weights. I do that too, even personally 3 times a week. Here, but zone 2 training or even, zone 1, also that have a great impact to actually help fat oxidation.
and to promote fat oxidation, fat metabolism. And you need this metabolic flexibility. That's why even what I love is to see that the method that I use in the field for the best athlete in the world, the way they train, are very similar to the methods that actually should be used. I personally believe to improve longevity. Here, that's more to train in the extremes, high intensity or low intensity, but never in the middle. Here, not try to avoid endurance training, zone 3. When do endurance, try more actually zone 2 here. And it's really interesting that two fields actually now could converge because, okay, the human body remains the same, whether we're an elite athlete or someone interested in the field of longevity, that's the same things. Yeah.
Okay, so what you are telling is you train 20, 25, 30 minutes, depending upon your fitness level, at zone like 5 extreme or zone 4, and then you walk between
there
zone
are
1 and 2.
three actually the 3 pillars that I do. That I do lift weights, and I do lift weights, and I typically do about 30 minutes. It's not I'm looking not at my intensity levels when I do this. I know that sometimes because some weights are heavy. Here that I may enter some really high intensity, but here I'm more looking for actually the benefits of triggering stress into my muscles, to trigger muscle synthesis, and also to deplete glycogen.
Okay.
That's the first method. The second method, in the I do 2 or 3 times a week. The second one, here is really the one I do high intensity. And high intensity, I do run. And here is the 4 times 4. This means 4 times minutes, as fast as I can. I can try to have 4 minutes per kilometer here, and to do 1 kilometer actually full speed. And this is really high intensity. And then I can even walk. I walk during 4 minutes, 4 times 4. The famous system like this to actually improve VO2 max. And this is really this one high intensity. When I do that, I measure my heart rate, and typically the night that follows, I can have usually a very low heart rate in the 40s. And when I do that, I can actually reach 60 in the night because minimize a lot of stress in my body here. And this is a good thing. And the last one is again what we discussed earlier is zone 2 training. Yes. And
that's
here,
simple walk.
Personally, I have to run to reach zone 2. Otherwise, walk is only zone 1. Okay. It depends on your level of fitness.
Or inclined walk.
Yes, inclined walk is good. Yes, inclined walk is, and that's if someone is measuring the heart rate bit, and yes, usually we say about 60-70% of your max heart rate for zone 2. I prefer personally, yes, to look more actually how you can speak. Another test of when you are in zone 2. And personally, yes, if I actually walk very steep, yes, I enter zone 2. Yes, here, yeah.
Okay, then thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Please come back again and let us know how far are we. Please keep us update about your progress, your project progress in India, and we'd be happy to be part of it.
Thank you so much. Yes, and always say that this decade will be the decade of longevity. Yes, we not only actually slow down aging or tackle, I would say, the chronic diseases it's actually triggered by aging, but really aging itself. I think we'll able to reverse aging in humans this decade. Yes, which
amazing.
Is crazy things when you think about it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, doctor.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Guys, Miduty Talks के through मैं world के best doctors that are working to train other doctors, DNA, research scientists, सबको आपके सामने लाना चाहती हूँ. Miduty Talks को सिर्फ आप ही हिट कर सकते हैं इस शो को. इस शो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा शेयर कीजिए एंड हमारे चैनल को ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. अगर this is a hit channel, then I'm definitely bringing world's top-notch doctors in front of you to give you right medical advice. अगर आपको लगता है ये एपिसोड किसी को बेनिफिट कर सकता है, I've done my part. Now it's your time to do your part. Please उनको फॉरवर्ड कीजिए और उनको हेल्प कीजिए ताकि उनको फ़ायदा हो.